Hello everybody, this is Between Two Bergs, and today's video we're going to go over why do drivers speed through our neighborhoods. Now I wanted to go through this video because I've noticed a few posts on everything Christiansburg and Blacksburg about people speeding through certain areas, maybe through a neighborhood or a residential road, and I wanted to take the time just to explain why that happens and what we can do to fix it. So it's actually quite simple. Instead of looking at the driver, we really need to look at how our roads are designed and how they're being built. So let's go over to Interstate 81 South. You can look at this road, and I want you to notice two things: how wide the lanes are and how straight it is. If you've ever driven the highway on 81, you'll know that the lanes are pretty straight. There might be some curves here and there, but ultimately it's designed to be really straight so that going fast feels comfortable. And the lanes are wide because we've got tractor trailers, we've got mobile homes being towed on the interstate, so it's got to be extra wide to accommodate this traffic. And all those things, being wide, being straight, encourages faster speeds. The problem is when we take this design and copy it over to a residential road. So let's hop over to South Franklin Street. Now for a minute, just focus on the road itself and think about the two things I mentioned. How wide is the road? How wide are the lanes? And how straight is it? So you can look at this design. The road is pretty much built the exact same way. It's designed like a highway in a residential neighborhood, and that's the problem. So if we overlay these two roads, so I've got 81 and South Franklin over top of each other, you can see this is the exact same design. And that's why people speed, because it feels comfortable going 70 miles an hour on 81 South. And so it might even feel uncomfortable going 25 miles an hour on South Franklin Street because it's designed like a highway, and that's the problem. So straight and wide like a highway should be feels comfortable going 70 miles an hour, which is the posted speed limit for 81. But straight and wide on South Franklin Street, where the intended speed limit is 25 miles an hour, where we've copied the design from the highway system, that's not good. That is the problem. So this is the main issue with speeding. I don't think drivers are being malicious. I think they're just a victim for just honestly poor road design. And you can see this design of being straight and wide like a highway is copied in a lot of our neighborhoods, a lot of our residential areas. So here's Allegheny Street. Here's over by Cambria. Here's a neighborhood I used to live in. Here's Ellet Road. Here's Arrowhead. All of these are designed in a way that encourages faster speeds than 25 miles an hour. And I think if we want to fix it, then we're going to have to change the design of the road. So if we want to do that, we need to deal with traffic calming. So what are the bad ideas? The bad ideas are doing something like having a police officer sit on the street and police the traffic. I don't like this because it's temporary. We can't have the police officer there all the time. And generally people kind of don't feel that great if they get ticketed because now it costs them money. So I don't like that idea. It's also kind of taking up the officer's time when he could be working on something else. And signs are something else we might use. We'll put up that sign that flashes at you if you're going too fast. And again, it's temporary. The other problem with signs are they're very easy to ignore. So once you get used to them being there, people tend to just not even think about them. You might think about a police officer if you see him pop up somewhere, but a sign, if you've driven the road enough, you're not going to think about the signs. So signs and police officers, they don't address the root of the problem, which is the design of the road itself. So what are some good ideas? Change the design of the road. So instead of being straight, make the road curve. So instead of making it wide, make it narrow. And you can do that by adding chicanes, which are these little bumpers where the curb cuts out and actually makes a straight road curvy. So now drivers need to pay attention and kind of follow it. You can't speed straight through. You can add protected bike lanes on the side. That has the effect of making it narrow. So drivers will pay more attention and slow down, and also protects cyclists. And the more people on bikes, the fewer people on cars, which makes traffic better for everybody. So that's something we should be doing. You can plant trees, you can add side street parking. All these are good road design changes that encourage slower speeds. So this is something we should be looking at. And the reason traffic calming works by adding these obstacles and things is because it makes it more comfortable driving at the intended speed, and it makes it uncomfortable to drive faster. And that's the goal. So a good example is a parking garage. You'll notice you don't need to post up a police officer or have a flashing sign in a parking garage to get people to go the intended speed, because a parking garage, the design itself makes people want to go a slower speed. So there's concrete columns you can hit, there's cars parked that are coming in and out, there's people walking around. It curves when you're going around and going up or down levels. This is a great design for reduced speeds, and this is something that we should think about when we're designing a road that cuts through a neighborhood. It should feel more like a parking garage and less like 81. So let's cut over to Blacksburg. I don't want to pick on Christiansburg too much. Let's pick on Blacksburg. So here's Patrick Henry. Posted speed limit for Patrick Henry is 25 miles an hour. It cuts through a neighborhood. It's next to the Hand-in-Hand Park and the Aquatic Center, the Community Center. This road is designed like the highway. It's super wide and the road is extremely straight. So people are going to go faster than 25 miles an hour. This is a bad design for 25 miles an hour, which I think the speed limit should be. There's a crosswalk to allow people to cross from the track to the parks and vice versa. Kids walk on that. Car traffic, motor traffic should be going slow on this road. So what's something we could do? We could design it more like Jackson Street. This is in downtown Blacksburg. Posted speed limit is 25 miles an hour, and you can see the buildings hug this road. There's parallel parking on the side. And all these effects of making it feel squished, it feels narrow. I've never seen a driver speeding going faster than 25 miles an hour down Jackson Street. If I'm at the farmer's market or just downtown, never ever seen a driver speeding past this, because the design of the road itself is good for 25 miles an hour. This is a good design. Now, if we go over to Patrick Henry, we could redesign it. You could plant trees next to the road. That kind of gives it that effect of those buildings that kind of close in on you, make you feel tight, make you feel constrained. That has the effect of slowing people down. You could add protected cycling lanes and actually put in some barriers or some planters. I think the flowers would be really pretty, and then the effect of protecting cyclists on the lanes will help people feel more comfortable, and also make the lanes narrower so it makes people want to slow down. You could also maybe change some of the surfacing. One thing you can do, you can see here, is the road is actually brick, and what brick does when you're going too fast, you're going to get an acoustic effect because you're going to start to rumble. And as you start to rumble more, if you're going too fast, that makes people want to slow down because there's bricks. And I recently went to Lynchburg, and occasionally in the streets, there'll just be brick surfacing. And that's a great just kind of refresher. If you're going too fast, you're going to hit that brick surfacing, and your car's going to rumble and it's going to sound very loud. And that's a great, oh, I'm going too fast, makes you want to slow down. So those are all different things we should be thinking about as our roads come up for resurfacing and just being renewed. We should be asking for a redesign and putting in some safer measures, redesigning the street so it's not like a highway, more like a parking garage. So yeah, in the end, blame the road design. Road design is primarily the reason people speed. It's not the driver trying to be malicious. They're probably in their head and just driving on autopilot. I think a lot of us do that. And so however the road is designed is how they're going to drive. So before we blame the driver, think about how the road is designed. If it's designed for high speeds like a highway, or if it's designed for slow speeds like a parking garage. That's what we should be going for. That's why people speed. And yeah, thank you for watching. This is Between Two Bergs, where I just talk about my perspective of living here between Blacksburg and Christiansburg. And thank you for watching. I hope you check out some of my other videos. And yeah, thank you. Thanks for your time.